Hello everyone, Fernando here, God's Prepared Warrior, and thank you guys for joining the Roundtable Live tonight. I am so excited that all of you are here today, all of you guys here on TikTok, all of you guys on YouTube that are here with me, all of you guys over here on Facebook Live. And tonight we have a really good show. Well, I don't know if you want to call it a show. We have a really good live tonight, and so I actually have a topic for tonight, and all of that good stuff. But before we get to that, I just want to kind of go. I think I've kind of chosen sort of a flow last week of what I want to share with you guys, as far as segments or whatever. But so I just want to share with you God's Prepared Warrior news. So we are continuing to grow on YouTube. Right now, we're sitting at 523 subscribers. So if you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, please do it. Like I said, I want to build this community. I'm going to keep preaching that because that's what I really want to do. I want to build this community. And I want to help people learn how to prep. Now, by me saying that doesn't mean that I am a lantern out of oil, how to make fire starter tabs, things like that. And then I also talk a lot, because I like to talk. I am a pastor, so pastors love to talk, I hear, past the time that church is allowed. So yeah, I love talking to people. I love encouraging people. That's my life. And I really like sharing the gospel with people and telling people about God, and what He's done in my life. And so I'm just a living testament of God's miracle work in my life. So maybe we'll talk about that here soon. So, guys, welcome to the channel. Aaron, welcome to YouTube. Salt Mist, thank you for joining me, guys. You guys are so faithful. Thank you for joining me tonight. So we are growing. We're sitting at 523 subscribers on YouTube. Next week, I'll bring all the numbers from Facebook, Instagram, and all that. Barely started on Instagram, and trying to work with that. Instagram's a little different for me, so I don't know. They say older people are on Facebook, so I don't know. Anyway, I digress. So we're growing. That's a great thing. Now, I don't know if any of you have paid attention, but last week I posted, and I actually reposted it again a while ago, the winter preparedness checklist. And so I uploaded that to YouTube, I uploaded that to Instagram, to Facebook, and I uploaded it earlier to TikTok. So, guys, I wrote that for you guys. Take that if we are talking about prepping on this channel, and I want to help you guys prepare for winter. What does it look like for you to prepare your home? What does it look like for you to prepare your car? What are some things that you need to have? I have that. I posted it out on all of my social media earlier, just so that you can have it again if you didn't get to see it last week. So it's there. Click the link. It's free for you. Print it out, and work with that. And I will tell you, if you have any questions, or you might say, Fernando, you're missing something from your list. What I want you guys to do is shoot me an email. My email is really simple. It's godspreparedwarrior@gmail.com. Send me an email. Just don't send me hate mail, please. Send me encouragement. That's what I want, right? Send me that. Send me encouragement. So there's some things there that you didn't even think about, right? So take a look at that checklist and print it out for yourself. That's free. I told you I was going to be doing that, right? So I'm actually going to be uploading all that stuff into my webpage, and that way you guys can see it. I'll also add it to my blog and to the devotional. That way you guys can have access to it all the time. I'll put that link under God's Prepared Warrior links in those sections. You might be saying, what devotional, what blog? Well, I do have a blog. I actually have a website. It's a free website. I would love to tell you that it's godspreparedwarrior.com, but I haven't purchased the website yet. So it's this really long thing, but you can find all of my links on my YouTube channel, and in any of the videos, you'll see all of my links there. And just go there, go to the contact page and click on sign up for the newsletter. Fill in your name and give me your email address, and I will make sure you get that devotional every Monday, and you get that blog every Tuesday. And then everyone else on socials gets it on Thursday and Friday. So if you want it first, it's just that simple, right? I'm not going to send you trash. I'm going to send you good stuff, right? So that's that. I'm also still looking for moderators for TikTok, for YouTube, and if you would like to do that and join the team that way, send me an email at godspreparedwarrior@gmail.com and just say, hey, Fernando, I want to be part of the team, and I will send you an email with some things that if you would like to do, you can choose, and then we'll go from there. I'll set up a Zoom meeting, and we'll talk, and we'll look at all of that kind of stuff. So if you'd like to do that, send me that email. All right, so that's God's Prepared Warrior News. I need to actually have some music kind of playing in the background, right? Just for that. I don't know. We'll pray about that. Awesome. All right. So service has issued its most severe fire warning for parts of LA area as the winds pick up. So I'm just reading this to you from the Los Angeles Times. And we already know that Los Angeles is on fire and is burning. And God's Prepared Warrior community is praying for all of those folks who are affected, those who've lost their homes, families who've lost family members. And we're just praying for all of the folks over there in California. We're also praying for all of our first responders. I can't even imagine the immensity of how overwhelmed they are, how much they are working, probably day and night. And so let's remember these folks in prayer, and let's ask God to be with them, right? So let's continue to pray for them. I know that they're facing. I think there's like another wind. Let me just read it here, right? I have it in front of me. It says, Southern California faces 2 days of dangerous winds that officials fear could expand current fires and spark new ones. So you have the winds that they've had here previously, but now apparently there's some bigger winds that are coming. So let's just continue to pray for these poor folks. Hi, guys. Hi, Johnny Castro. Hi, is that Gig 78? I see you. I see you there. And it's hard for me to see without my glasses. So welcome, guys, there on TikTok. So let's keep people in California in prayer. Let's continue to pray for them. Next thing in news, this is from the NPR. A TikTok ban could hit the U.S. in days. You guys on TikTok, they're wanting to ban TikTok. Imagine that. It says here the fate of TikTok and its 170 million American users, right, hangs in the balance as the Supreme Court considers the constitutionally of a law that would ban the platform in the U.S. If its China-based owner ByteDance doesn't sell off its U.S. operation by January the 19th. So we have a deadline, TikTokers, of being on this platform, of, laughing on this platform, right, at all the funny videos and stuff that happens here. It looks like soon, and very soon, that it might just be canceled. So, I don't know what you guys think about that, but it's a very serious thing because it has reached the upper echelons in our legislation. Hey Rick, thank you for stopping by. Good. I'm glad you're here. So that's happening. Uh-oh, my phone made noise. I didn't see what it was. Somebody, whatever you did, thank you. There's another one. Thank you. All right. So in the news, weather models are already showing when the next Texas freeze might occur. It's not a surprise, but I live in Texas, and if you've been following me, you probably exactly know where I live. And I bet you a bunch of you are going to go back through all of my TikTok videos, all my YouTube videos, just to find out where does Fernando live. And it's okay. God protects me. But here in Texas, in the part that I live, we just experienced cold and lots of rain this last couple of weeks. And so we are now being threatened with another winter blast that is coming, and it is actually supposed to freeze the state according to the news. But, just like always, you actually have to watch it daily because it changes daily. And if you live in Texas, you understand the saying that we have that just says, wait 5 minutes and the weather will change, right? Because it's funny because we wake up in the morning and it's cold outside, like cold, we need to wear a jacket. And then by the afternoon, you don't need it, right? It's hot. So welcome to Texas. So that's coming up. So all of you Texans, be ready for what's coming up. I mean, Dallas got nailed with some snow. All of the upper cities in towns in Texas and the Panhandle, they all got slammed. Luckies, we would like to see some snow down here. People are like, I'm narrowing it down. I know where he lives. All right, so that's coming up. Another thing in the news, and then we'll get on with our topic today, is I picked this because, let me give you a backstory first. Welcome, guys, on TikTok. So, if you guys followed me, there will be hurricane winds. Salt Mist says there's going to be hurricane winds. I guess where you are. Well, we will definitely be praying for you. So if you guys have been following me long enough, you kind of know that I'm a pastor and that my wife and I started a ministry called Free by the Truth Ministry. And we help men and women coming out of prison. And so prison ministry is, has a soft spot in my heart. Men and women who were in prison, incarcerated. I truly believe that God has called us to walk with these folks and to help rehabilitate them and put them back into society. And I'm proud to say that the Lord has given us so many men and a few women, actually, and we have been able to see them grow in God and see them leave the ministry, right? As much as we always want to hold on to everyone, see them leave and continue in ministry, continue to do, what God has called them to do. And it's been a really bittersweet thing. And so I chose this next bit of news because it really rings home close to me, right? So it says here, California Prisoner Firefighter Program. Listen to what I'm saying. California Prisoner Firefighter Program. Now, Fernando, what you're saying is that there's a bunch of firefighters that are prisoners? Yes, that's what I'm saying. Criticism amid the LA wildfires. I'm going to read this here, and then I'm going to discuss on it. It says California's century-old prisoner fighter program is drawing fresh criticism as hundreds of incarcerated people have been deployed to fight the deadly wildfires in the greater Los Angeles area. As of Thursday, 783 incarcerated firefighters were working around the clock to help slow the spread of the massive blazes as part of California Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation Fire Camp Program. It says here that the state is one of at least a dozen that operate these fire camps and deploy incarcerated people to fight fires. Last year, California voters rejected Proposition 6, a ballot initiative to ban involuntary labor in prisons and jails. So I'm going to stop there. If you guys want to check this out, it's in the NBC News. So I'm gonna tell you, I'm pretty sure their fears are probably, well, they're inmates. They're probably killers or whatever, right? But working with ex-offenders myself, I have come to learn to know a lot of these men who have these titles of who they were, and I can tell you that that is no longer who they are, right? The ones that we work with, because they chose to follow God in life. And so, I also know this a lot because not only was I a correctional officer in a federal unit here in Texas, but here recently in 2014 through 2016, I was a chaplain for the Texas Department of Criminal Justice, and in one of the prisons close to where I live. And so I had the best opportunity to meet with men of God on a unit and do ministry with them, right? And so I can tell you of all of the people that I have met. Now there are the bad ones, right? There are the bad ones. There also are the ones that that play around and pretend, and then they revert back. And then there's those true Christians, right? And so I got to meet a lot of them, and a lot of them are out, and a lot of them are doing really well. And I follow them on Facebook, and I pray for them all the time, and I continue to see all of the great things they're doing. And so I saw this today, and I just wanted to say that this is a great thing, right? Instead of saying thank you to these men who actually have to go back to prison after their shift or however they're doing it, they actually have to go back to incarceration and live behind the wall, right? Live behind the wire. And so, they do it day in and day out. And I say that because I know in the unit that I was working at as a chaplain, these guys got to go to the food bank and work as chefs. And so that was a really neat program that our unit had. And I got to see these guys and their excitement of cooking. And, they were getting out of prison to go do that thing, but they still had the guards with them. They actually had to be shackled on the way and shackled on the way back. They're trustees. That means that the prison has vetted them, and they're outstanding inmates, and they do well. And so they trust them to do the job that they have been chosen to do. And so, I'm going to pray. I'm going to pray for these California prisoner firefighters. And I'm probably going to put up a post tomorrow about them. And, I think we should pray for them, that God give them strength, because I'm looking at this picture here, and they look like charcoal. They're fighting the fire. And so, instead of saying thank you, right, people are complaining. And, I can go a whole nother way with that one, but I'm not gonna touch it, Lord. I will let you let you do it, God. But you know what? We should be thankful for all of the firefighters, no matter if they're in prison or not. They're out there battling. They're out there putting their life on the line, so that people's homes don't catch fire. So all of their pictures, all of their stuff doesn't burn up. And so, yeah. I'm going to be praying for them. So you guys be praying for them. All right, so let's move. The topic for tonight is this. It is the urgency of being prepared now and not later. Okay? The urgency of being prepared now and not later. Now, all of the people on TikTok, as I opened up TikTok, because all of you on Facebook and Instagram and on YouTube, y'all get opened up at 9. These guys kind of get opened up a little early on TikTok. And so I shared with them that tonight I was going to be sharing a story of what happened to my wife at the store today. This was today. I got home from work and my wife was like, babe, you're not going to believe what I'm about to tell you. And so I'm going to tell you her story and how I heard it. And I want you to think about this because it's important, right? Because in prepping, we talk about being prepared. We talk about stockpiling things, right? We talk about stocking up food. We talk about you have your pantry and then you also have a store, right? And the store, so you stock your pantry from the store that you have in your home. And then you go to the store to stock your store so that your pantry gets full. Does that make sense? Hopefully I didn't confuse you. If you're confused, send me an email. I will explain it better. So my wife told me today before I left to work, she said she was going to go to the store and we needed to buy eggs. And I had told her that, eggs, and it's true, eggs are going up and eggs are fixing to be scarce, right? Because they continue to cull all of the chickens. So eggs are going to be continue to be monitored, or not monitored, but restricted, right? Because now there's restrictions, as she went to Sam's today, that you can only take 2 of the things of eggs. And so she went to Sam's, right? She took a trip to the store and how can I say it? So she went in the store and she went to go get eggs, right? Simple. She went to go get eggs. She got her basket. She went that way. She realized as she was pulling up to the case, right, where all the eggs are, that there were 2 boxes of eggs left. 2 boxes left. And so she's reading on the door because I've been telling her, eggs are going up. They're going to start limiting the eggs. And as she was reading the door, she read the restrictions on the door that you can only take 2 boxes of eggs, right? And as she was reading that, standing in front of the case, ready to open the door, right? As she stood in front of this case, she's reading the signage. Another lady rushes in behind her, practically pushing her out of the way and grabbing the last 2 boxes of eggs. And at this moment, my wife is in shock, right? She's telling me I was freaking out. And the lady's justification for cutting in front of my wife and taking the eggs, literally stealing them from her because she was standing right there. Her justification was, I need them. And as she's telling me this, I'm like, all right, I got you, babe. You just gave me my topic for the night. So, this story is like really a snapshot of the world that we're living in, right? A world where scarcity can lead to to desperation, right? And desperation can lead to chaos. Now, this is truly a reminder of how important it is for all of us to be prepared. I come out here all the time talking about being prepared. My tagline is stay vigilant, stay prepared, right? In all of my TikTok videos, you'll see that. Stay vigilant, stay prepared. Because we're living in this world of chaos, right? And this is totally a reminder of how important it is for us to prep now and not later, right? We need to prepare now and not later, right? We shouldn't be waiting for a moment of need to occur, right? Because I see this a lot. A while back during hurricane season, I don't know if it was this year or the year previous. I can't remember. Everything's just going by so fast lately. We were threatened. Now we're inland, okay, in Texas, and we're practically central Texas, and so a hurricane was coming to hit the coast of Texas, and at the very last minute, as storm is approaching, everyone in the city that I live storms the grocery stores. Now here in Texas, our grocery store is HEB, and so I had my friend. I had taken my friend. I was riding with my friend, and he needed to put gas. I said, "Let's go to the Costco. We'll put gas at the Costco." And I did a video. You can dig back in my old TikTok stuff. I did a video, in my friend's Jeep, and I was standing outside the Jeep. Costco was full. Now our Costco, there's several Costcos in the city I live, but this newly built one by my house, it's never full all the way, right? If you know Costco has its main parking lot, and then they have an overflow. Sometimes some of the stores, ours has an overflow, and it's close to the gas station. And so anyway, him and I are getting to the Costco, and we're actually in Costco is so that he can get gas. That's how long the line was. And then as we're coming into the parking area, there is no parking in the main parking, and all of the overflow is full. And then there's lines for the gas. Why? All because a hurricane was going to hit the coast of Texas. And everyone waited till the last minute to go get gas and to go get stuff from the store. And so, I knew that was going to happen. We were ready. We were prepared. We didn't have to go to the store. But my kids were like, "Mom, the grocery stores are ransacked. I came to the store and there's nothing." What has your dad been saying? What has he been saying? Are you not paying attention? Right? And so, that's what happens here where I live. There's a lot of people who don't prepare, and then they ransack the store at the last minute. This is the world that we're living in a world of scarcity, and it will lead to desperation, and desperation will lead to chaos. And so can you imagine, looking at California, looking at the people who have gone through these fires, were they prepared? That's the question my wife and I were talking about. Do you think they had a go bag? My wife was like, "Babe, I had this dream that we we had to grab our go bags." Yeah, you need those things, because do you think that there was a warning that the fire was in the mountain? No, that thing came quick, and it took people by surprise. They couldn't even get in their cars, and if they did, they couldn't get out. Why? Because everybody was trying to leave, because the fire was engulfing everything. They weren't prepared. And here, people like myself have been here in this space telling you guys you need to prepare, right? Not to scare you. We're not here to scare you. You know, forgive me for using that term, but it's really what it is, right? And so this is just such a huge snapshot for us of the world that we're living in. So, you know, it's a huge reminder for us. It's a huge reminder of how important it is to prepare now and not later, right? And so we shouldn't be waiting for a moment. You know, we shouldn't be waiting. Is the hurricane close enough? No. You should have done that days ago when they told you there was a tropical storm in the ocean far away, right? That means that you got to get out and you got to put boards on your windows. You got to board up your door. Get all that ready, right? Don't be trying to go to Home Depot at the last minute trying to get sheetrock. You're not going to use sheetrock. Plywood, because there's not going to be none. From what I see where I live, there ain't going to be nothing. And so you need to prepare. That's why I always say when it comes to winter, that very first time that temperatures dip low, but not too low to where it's like freezing, right? It's just like cool. Hey, there's a cool in the air. That is the time when you should say, you know what? I need to make sure I have all my winter preps ready. That should be the time when you say, do I have those covers for my faucet outside? That should be the time where you say, do I have a house built on stilts and I need to go under there and cover up the pipes? Yes. That is the time to prepare. Not the day before that it's about to freeze, because by then it's even colder, right? And then you're out there trying to do the work and it's super cold and you're freezing your hands off or whatever. So all I'm saying tonight is that there is an urgency of being prepared now and not later, right? Like right now, we just had this cold snap this last week, right? And it dipped here in the 30s, right? It froze one day, and then by the afternoon, it was melted already, and it was warmer again. So this was kind of like the second waking up and seeing your sign that, hey, it's time to get winter prepared. And so this is why I posted out the checklist, because I know a lot of people are going to wait and they shouldn't. And you actually need to have these things because they're not going to be there in the store anymore. So, you know, you need to have your faucet covers, you know, for your outside faucets. You need to have these things. These things will save you a lot of money and a lot of headache, and your pipes won't burst, right? So, I mean, it's kind of like a no-brainer, right? So let's unpack this for tonight. So, you know, if you know me, you've been following my channel, we're going to talk about the practical side of preparedness, and then we're going to talk about the spiritual side and how these two things go together in what we're talking about, right? So I want to give you 4 things tonight, and I pray that all of you take notes. This is not a sermon. But somebody told me the other day, hey, you know, you kind of do your lives like you were doing a sermon. Well, praise the Lord. So I'm going to give you 4 things that are important for you to do, right? Here's the first one. So you should avoid last minute scrambles. I just said that, right? You should avoid last minute scrambles. When essential supplies like eggs, right? For example, my wife today, water, bread are low, people tend to panic. All right, get this now. People tend to panic. And by keeping your pantry stocked with all of the essentials that you need, you know, you won't find yourself caught in the chaos at the store, right? And you should be to the point where you are taking inventory regularly and restocking items before they run out. Now, you heard me say a while ago that you have a pantry in your home, right? And that's where you have all of your food essentials. and you should have a store in another part of your home, whether that's, in your garage or wherever, another room. Maybe you dedicate another bedroom to your store. You should have an inventory sheet of the things that you have. I'm going to talk about being organized, and if you are not an organized person, being organized and prepping are essential things. So, list of all the items that you have, right? For example, here recently, because my wife goes to Costco, she brings back the big bags of rice and beans and things like that. And it's my job to take those things, break them down into smaller portions, and put them put them in food saver bags and run it through the food saver machine, and all of that's prepped, right? And so we have a place for that where we put all that, and then we have our stock of extra stuff. And so whenever we use the stuff in our pantry, the stuff in our store moves over to our pantry, and then we go to our store, and that's where we take our list, where you should take your shopping list from to stock that, right? So that helps you to avoid last minute scrambles to the store, because the store you're talking about is the other store that's inside your room, right? Your pantry, your store, and you go to the store to stock your store that stocks your pantry. Hopefully you guys follow that. So that's important. Avoid last minute scrambles. Here's the second thing you guys need to do, and that is practice situational awareness. Man, have I talked a lot about this here lately. Situational awareness is important. You have to know what is happening around you. You can't just idly walk the store like you're the only person in the store, because you're not, right? So while my wife was standing there reading the signage, right, someone else acted with urgency, right, and she wasn't nice about it, right? So it's important for you to stay aware of your surroundings, especially in situations where resources are scarce. And being prepared also means staying safe, right? Being prepared also means staying safe. So that's important to understand when we talk about practicing situational awareness. You got to know what's happening around you. You got to know who's there. Look at my videos on YouTube about situational. I have dedicated videos on that. So just sit there, love, because I got to be able to see both exits, or in the entrance and the exit, and because I'm prepared, I'm ready to go. Somebody tries to come in and rob the joint, Fernando's prepared. That's all I'm gonna say, because I don't want to get in trouble or banned. Practice situational awareness. Here's the third thing. Build a stockpile over time. Now, when we talk about preparedness, people think, oh, I got to go get this, and I got to go get that, and I got to go over here, and I got to do this over here. Slow down. Poop hitting the fan is going to eventually happen, but probably not right now, right? So make a plan. You should have a plan almost for everything. You should have a plan for your preps. You should have a comms plan. You should have an evac plan. You should have a bug out plan. You should have a bug in plan, depending on what you're going to do, right? You're going to do one or the other. You should have a plan for those things, right? And it should include you and your family, right? So build a stockpile over time, right? If we take small steps, and if you follow my Walking with Fernando page on Facebook, I talk a lot about SMART goals, right? If we just take small steps each week, buying a little extra, right? And when I tell my wife, when you go to the store, she already knows. I don't have to tell her anymore. She'll come home and she'll have a few extra cans of stuff, right? Spam, beans. She'll have maybe a bag or two of rice, a bag or two of beans, maybe, right? But she doesn't have this The SUV is not full, is what I'm saying, of stuff. It's little here and there. If we just take the small steps each week, buying just a little extra of what we use regularly, right? We won't feel the pressure when shortages arrive. Eggs, canned goods, water, basic hygiene items, those are the things that you want to keep on hand, right? So build a stockpile over time. Man, I will beat this till the day I die. You got to teach your family. If you think back to your parents, maybe your grandparents, maybe their parents, if you can go back that far, it was a different time, and they were self-sufficient. I remember my grandmother, she had a separate store in her home where she had items that were canned, right? She canned items and vegetables, and my grandfather had a garden this was in a small town, and their property wasn't really that big. If you think about it, yeah, it really wasn't big. It looked big to me because I was little. It was a 2-story house, and it just looked huge. But when I go back, it's like, man, this was a small little property. But my grandfather had a garden on there, and he would grow all of the stuff, and my grandmother would can it. And so I would remember going to Grandma's house and going into that room and seeing all of the jars of food that she canned. So it's important, guys, for us to teach our family. Preparation isn't just for you. It's not just for you, right? What good is all of that and you just keep it locked in your head and then it's gone, right? Time is a testament to that, right? Because today, nobody hardly knows anything about canning. It's trying to make a comeback. And so we have to teach our family, right? It's for your entire household. This isn't just for you, right? It's important for you to share the importance of readiness with your loved ones so that everyone contributes to the goal, right? Everyone needs to contribute. As you learn, you need to contribute, right? And so it's important to do that because there's always a goal in mind, right? And this mindset creates unity in times of crisis. Why? Because together you were preparing. It unites you because it was done together, right? So guys, take away these things. I think these things are gold for us tonight. That's the practical side. Let's talk about the spiritual side. Preparation isn't just about material things, right? It's only part of it. It's also about the condition of our hearts and our faith in God, right? So I want to give you 4 things here on the spiritual side of preparedness. Here's the first one. The first one is this: trust God's provision. Philippians 4:19 reminds us, and it says, and my God will meet all your needs according to the riches of his glory in Christ Jesus. Now, Fernando, what do you mean by that? Well, while we are doing our part in preparing, we must trust that God, get me on this, we must trust that God is our ultimate provider. Yes, we will can. Yes, we will stock food and water and things like that. But it is God who is providing all of those things for us, right? He has given us stewardship over those things. And we are to be good stewards over our preparations, right? Because He is our ultimate provider. He is the one who knows, right, our need even before we ever ask it. We have to trust God's provision. That's just so important. I don't know about you, but man, God is so important because He is our provider. And so it's important for us to trust in God's provision. The second thing is we should be generous, even in scarcity, right? In times of shortage, it's generosity, right? If we see someone in need and we're able to help, we should help them, right? Luke 6:38 says, "Give, and it will be given to you." My wife likes quoting that verse a lot. Give, and it will be given to you. This is so important. We have to be generous because when we are generous, our Father sees what we do and He rewards us for that. We don't do it for the reward. We do it because that's what God wants us to do, right? He is our provider. He provides us the things that we have, not to hoard them, but to share them. There is a video I saw of the people in Los Angeles where neighbors were coming together to help neighbors. And I thought that was just so neat because, we're wanting to grow this channel and I'm wanting to build a community where I live. And, I want to have a team of us and not just me behind this camera, because I'm not a in front of the camera guy. That's not really me. But God has said, Fernando, do this thing. And so I'm going to do it until God brings that person to sit right here and lead us through lead us through all of this. And so, we have to be generous. We have to help others because, it's going to be hard if poop really hits the fan to be out there alone without anything and without anyone. So be generous even in scarcity. Here's the third one. We should stay peaceful amid the chaos. As much as my wife probably wanted to, beat down that person, she didn't, right? She trusted the Lord in that. We have to stay peaceful amid the chaos. My wife has a Spanish saying, and I'm going to say it in English because I'll tear it up in Spanish. But the saying is, it's better to have one crazy person than two, right? And so, staying peaceful amid the chaos is important, right? Moments of scarcity can create stress, but we are called to be peacemakers. Proverbs 15:1 says, "A gentle answer turns away wrath, but a harsh word stirs up anger."
I didn't get that. Could you try again?
Thank you, Siri. We're not talking to you. So, it's important with calmness and grace. Why? Because the Bible says, "You will know my children by their fruits." And if we have fruits of fighting, anger, backbiting, cutting people down, tearing them up, burying them 10 feet deeper into the ground because they're already low and we just want to hit them even lower. If we're doing those things, we're not emulating the fruits of the Spirit. Those things aren't in us. It's what comes out that is in us, because out of the heart, the mouth speaks, right? And so if we're doing all those things, then we're not truly following the Lord. And it's important for us to respond in calmness and grace so that others will see Christ living in us. And so that's so important. Number 4, you should prepare your heart for eternal security, right? Physical preparation is essential. We got to be doing that. That's why God has given us hands. That's why God's given us feet. The Bible says if you do not work, you do not eat, right? So we got to work. We got to put all these things together. We have to do our part. God provides and he gives them to us, and we are to be good stewards of those things, right? Physical preparation is essential, but it pales in comparison to spiritual readiness, right? Matthew 24:44 says, "So you also must be ready, because the Son of Man will come at an hour when you do not expect him." Jesus is coming back. His word says we're prepare our hearts for our eternal security. And that is only through Jesus that we can do that. We have to prepare our heart for eternal security. My prayer is that you would choose Jesus and follow him. I can tell you in my experience of being a follower of Christ that there are ups and downs. You are going to struggle. The Bible tells us that. But the best thing that we have is God on our side. And he walks with us through the storm. He carries us at times when we didn't know how we were going to make it. God makes a way when there is no way. And so my hope and my prayer is that you are making preparations for your eternal security, right? So you also, we just need to prepare. It's so important in our hearts, right? Just as we prepare for life's challenges, we must prepare for Christ's return by walking in faith and in righteousness. So, the story of my wife at the store today is a huge reminder of the world that we are living in. It is a world that will only grow more uncertain as the days and as time goes by. It'll just continue to be uncertain. But by being prepared now, both physically and spiritually, is essential for all of God's prepared warriors. And that's you. And that's you. You are all God's prepared warriors. And it's important for you guys to be prepared, not just physically or practically, but spiritually as well. We should take stock in our physical needs and begin building. You should begin building your preparedness plan today. Don't wait for the storm. Don't wait for poop to hit the fan. Don't wait. Don't wait for World War III to start. You actually need to be doing that now. It's important for you to be prepared, to have that plan, that preparedness plan today. And at the same time, you should ensure that your heart is aligned with God's word and his promises, right? Preparation isn't just about surviving. It's about thriving in faith, even when times are tough, even when there's struggle, even in the midst of loss, even when things aren't going right, even when we lose our job, even when we lost a family member. We have to trust in the Lord and have faith that he is going to continue to be with us. That's important. It's about thriving in faith even when times are tough. So guys, I just want to thank you for listening to the rants of an old man. Because I just want to help you guys get prepared. I want you guys to be ready for anything and everything. And so, I think my wife's story today was just the perfect story to just share with you guys of what happened to her at the store. And it's so important for us today to be more vigilant of where we're going and what we're doing. You can turn the news on and you can see of all the shootings, of all the robbing, all these things, the kidnapping, all of that. I know your phone is going off constantly for those Amber alerts, right? I have a friend who says, why don't they just leave Amber alone? And so, those things are just going off like all the time. And so it's so important, guys, for us to be prepared. It's so important for us to be vigilant. It's so important for us to know situational awareness. But it's most important to have God at the center of our life. Because when poop hits the fan, because when struggle happens, because when loss comes, God is going to be the one that's going to be there to walk you through. Pastor, remember, I'm a chaplain also. I've listened to the stories of people that say, Pastor, Chaplain Fernando, I'm alone, and nobody is helping me through this. I'm alone. And I've heard that so many times, and I've had to remind them, you're not alone. God is with you, right? So, guys, I don't like this time because I have to leave you. I don't want to keep talking. But make sure you follow all of my social media. Follow the website. Get on the blog list. Get on the devotional list so that you guys get that. It's the start of your week. Mondays are tough enough, right? And it's so important that you guys have the devotional on Monday. That's why I do it on Monday, because Mondays are tough. It's tough for me at work. And so, guys, I just want you check that out. Follow me on Facebook. Follow me on Instagram and on YouTube. Follow me there. Follow me on TikTok. Let's start this community. I really want to get this community going, not just here where I live, but where you live, right? You want to be a representative for God's Prepared Warrior, shoot me an email where you live. Let's start building a team there. Let's start meeting via Zoom, via Spaces, whatever. And let's start spreading the word of prepping practically, physically, and then prepping spiritually and mentally. I think that's just so important for all of us. So, guys, thank you for joining me. Thank you for hanging with me for this hour. And I'm so excited you guys hung here with me. Have a great evening. Have a great Tuesday tomorrow. And I look forward to seeing you live again next Monday, 9 o'clock Central Standard Time. Bring some friends with you. Invite them to join the YouTube channel. And let's get that community growing. And guys, have a great week. I love all of you, and I pray for all of you. And until next time, stay vigilant, stay prepared. See you in the